welcome to episode 4 of Krusty's Third Nipple. The podcast is unnecessary as another Mr. Tumble costume change. My name's Kieran and I'm joined this ever by Darren.
Hello.
And Tarig.
Alright.
As we officially go global with actual real life people listening to us three numpties from Australia, Dubai, USA and Japan. In this episode we'll be discussing Darren's choice of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and introducing a new feature we're calling Dawn in 60 Seconds, which will see two of us given a minute each to debate a hotly contested topic. Should you wish to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at Krusty's Nipple, and all previous episodes are available on Spotify and anchor.fm/Krusty's Nipple. There we go, lads. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I've been a fairly busy and chaotic week as ever. What about yourself? What have you been doing?
Well, it was on Sunday. I took the kids to fly a kite, right? And this is probably, in my estimation, the most overrated kids' activity that there is today there. Whoever made up that tweet where they put expectation versus reality must have had flying kites with kids in mind, because it is atrocious. Because the expectation, right? Sunny day at the beach, kite flying high, the guy's got it nailed.
Soaring.
Kids standing beside you thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, can't wait for a shot. You got other dads walking past, like giving you nods of appreciation, like, yeah, well, you've got that, boy. You hear their kids even like, Dad, why don't we have a kite? No, the reality. Struggling to tie the string to the kite. Like, easier said than done with the cold and the wind. Kids are excited and running about. They're getting tangled in the tail and getting tangled in the string. Like 4 or 5 times after you've warned them, like the kite's going away if they do it again. Now, before you've even started, the kids are in the huff. Your hands are freezing. The thing's flapping about. It's getting twisted in the wind. It's just a nightmare.
You can barely get it a foot off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you run with it, I'll hold this, and I'll run at the same time. No, you're running too fast. You're going too slow.
Wait there.
I think you might be.
Get off the line.
They might be blowing this out of proportion, Dad, because I saw on Facebook that Leo was doing it with ease.
She got it. She nailed it. But like, that's my point though. Even when it's good, the payoff's like so limited compared to like the effort you got to put in. But it's a good example because we got a picture of her. I was untangled and I held it up and it went high, and she's standing there like a boss, right? She thinks of it 20 foot in the air, straight as a die, nothing going wrong with it, right? Picture me with it barely above my shoulders. Poppy's trying to jump in the way. Rudy's face planted in the grass because he's having a tantrum because I probably shouted at him saying, "Get off it." It's like,
Should have just gave it to him and he would have flew away.
Nah,
catch your son.
If you ever catch me flying a kite again, you come with my permission to shoot me.
Oh, we've tried that a few times and it's just always ends in disaster. Never, like you said, the payoff's just no good enough there.
That's terrible.
No way whatsoever. So yeah, I had quite a dodgy week as well, if you want to say that. So, as I said before, got all these women in my house, 3 daughters, my wife and my mother-in-law. So I think it was last Saturday or Sunday. The kids have been watching Just Dance on YouTube quite a lot of the time. Which is stick up on the TV and they'll copy the moves and stuff like that. And,
so that's the computer
been
game?
the computer game, but they've just been watching the videos on YouTube and they just like to copy them and stuff. So, which is great, and they were getting a few of the moves. So we had a wee in the cupboard, so we thought, right, let's go and dust this off and we'll get it all set up and we'll actually get the Just Dance on. So it was me against all the ladies. Okay, so I kept saying, right, I've got to beat the girls, So we're going for it. And as I was going for it, everybody was meant to stay out of my way. But what happened? One of the twin girls got up, ran to go to the toilet, and I managed to punch her square in the face. Black guy, wee cut underneath it, disaster. I was waiting on the cops coming chapping on the door. So I was like, this is a nightmare, man. So I let her. Well, she calmed down. She was fine. There was no real lasting emotional damage, I don't think. And I said to her, I was like, right, okay, like
What
you've
about the
got
physical
nursery. Yeah, physical damage was visible, like so we're not saying anything there. It was just a tiny wee cut. So I said to her, I was like, right, you've got nursery tomorrow. Somebody's going to ask you what happened to you. And I said, so I'll just try it out. I just said, so Evie, what happened to your eye? She said, Daddy punched me because he wanted to beat the girls. I said, this is you can't say that. Dad's getting carried off in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
That's a proper you being framed moment right there.
Oh,
just dance and then boom.
It's also a factually correct version of events, isn't it?
I was wanting to beat the girls and punch her right in the butt.
Just omitting but just dance part.
Because we laughed at it, she just kept saying it, so I'm not sure if she did say it to anybody in nursery. I didn't get any looks from the teachers at drop off or pickups, so that was,
their fear. Their fear.
There's no been services at the door either, so that's fine. And Evie's back on the side. We're back being mates. I'm not punching her in the face, so she's all good.
I think she's on one back.
Yeah, definitely. Apart from that, I've just been having a good bit of fun with my Polish mother-in-law as well.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if I mentioned her trying to use Alexa.
No, you've not said that one.
No. Right, so I sit upstairs when I'm working away in my bedroom, and it's my wife, she's away and the kids are away to school and whatnot. So it's just us two usually in the house, and we can get the Polish radio on through Alexa.
All right.
But with Viesha's limited English, and the words that she knows tend to still be like ass, shit, fuck. the normal, or please. And so I'll be upstairs working away, and all hear her saying is, Alexa, you there? Alexa, please, radio. Alexa, stop being ass. Ass, radio. So I'll hear this going on for a wee while, just peeing myself laughing upstairs, and then I'll just go onto my phone on my app and just play it for her, because it just gets sad after a wee while.
She thinks verbal abuse is how it works.
Yeah.
So it's Paprosha, Alexa, please, radio. I don't give her enough credit. She's taught herself English, and she has done really well, and she can speak quite well. But it's just when these moments come up, you've got to love it.
Oh, yeah. You'll miss them when she's gone.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, that's been more or less my week, between that and watching loads of other different things on the box.
Well,
I finished for this podcast.
I finished watching this series with Leah, my wife, and it's called Little Fires Everywhere. It was on Prime Video, and honestly, it was pretty shit. It was. It's an adaptation of a book. Reese Witherspoon plays like the head of this family, white family in the burbs. This kind of, she's got 4 kids. Her oldest daughter's the head cheerleader. Everything's kind of sunshine, white picket fence, all that jazz.
Wow.
And in the first episode, skips to the very end, and her house is on fire, and it all kind of plays out as a whodunit. And she turns out to be a pretty nasty piece of work. And to me, that's the only thing that kept me watching it, because it's like you want to see people who are just absolute bitches get their comeuppance, don't you? So other than that, it was terrible. It was Leah's choice, and I sincerely hope that our next choice isn't going to be any as bad as this. I wouldn't even recommend it. See if you and your wife or your girlfriend sitting there looking for something to watch, and this comes up. Honestly, just go to bed. Don't watch this.
Right.
It's a pass.
What's it called? What's it called again, just in case?
It's called Little Fires Everywhere.
Can I recommend that to people I don't like?
Yeah, do that. It's so heavy with the metaphors, it's clumsy.
Mm.
It's overacted. And I think we've already given it too much airtime.
Sorry, the only notable thing I did this week was watch Groundhog Day with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
And the movie was just the same repeating day over and over. I really love that movie. It's a classic. I've seen it, like 3 or 4 times before, so there's nothing more I can kind of say about it that hasn't been said before. But it's a lovely film, and I love how it just kind of goes through a whole range of emotions that the whole movie. And you really wonder how long has he been doing this, because he masters like several instruments. He knows everyone in town's names and backstories. He can taught himself French and stuff like that. It's just incredible what he kind of does and masters in that time. But yeah, definitely a funny movie.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray at one of his best. Like, he was brilliant in that film. Absolutely brilliant. He's
always a winner. I've seen him a few times, but I've actually seen him where I've been in the same room as him. It was at my cousin's wedding was at the Krusty Golf Hotel. And Knussi's basically where I've seen him. Knussy in St Andrews, when he takes part in the kind of Pro-Am Alfred Dunhill golf events. There was one day I took a day off work and my mate just took a few tins down there and followed him for a few holes. He's just hilarious. But in the hotel, so we're at the wedding and there's word gets out that Bill Murray's next door. So we just take off and bomb through, and he's sitting there with his suit on, no socks, no shoes, with like just a glass of whiskey on his own at a table. The room's practically empty, and he's just sitting there. And he gives us a nod, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna disturb you. Be on with your day, good sir.
Definitely. Christ, that would have been so hard not to go across and just Bill Murray.
You don't want that to be your introduction to a legend, do you?
Nah, definitely not.
Especially with comedians or like comedic actors, it's kind of hard not to say one of the more famous lines right at them. And they're like, I've heard this a million times. Please just shoot me.
Oh man, what a legend. If any has watched Taskmaster?
I haven't, no.
No, but you've spoken to me about that before. That's where the comedians get given tasks.
Yeah. I've just finished the first season, and it is hilarious. It's just brilliant. Greg Davies is the Taskmaster, and he gets like 5 different comedians on each season, and the tasks that they get are just crazy. It's like they've got a bathtub full of water, and they've got to see who can empty it in the quickest time possible. And some of them will just jump in and just chuck the water out, or run about this house and grab as much as they can and throw it out. And they get a big block of ice, and they've got to try and melt it as quickly as possible. And some of their ways of doing it is just hilarious. So they had Tim Keyes, Frank Skinner, Romesh. Who else was on it this season?
They're making Romesh again.
Yeah.
Romesh and Josh Wickham.
A bit of a stalker
Well, I just started on this and they popped in. I was like, oh, that's pretty decent. Why not?
We're meant to be Romesh.
Oh, exactly. I seen he shaved his beard and everything. I was like, oh.
What did you think?
I was just growing mine as well. But no, Taskmaster, hilarious. Definitely, give it a bash.
That's a recommend. Channel 4.
Yeah, it's on. It's like
and Dave.
Maybe 10th season.
Mm-hmm.
It's on. Yeah. It's just been picked up by Channel 4 in the last couple of seasons. One of our friends, Stealth, he was raving about it previously, and I was like, no, I'm not really that fussed about it. But once I started watching one, that was me. I'm hooked. Dave, or just all 4 or more 4 or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're on both of them. Yeah.
Aye.
Okay, I think we should get on to our new feature called Dawn in 60 Seconds.
So you've heard us stutter through a few episodes now, and if you're thinking I could do better than they 3 rapes, then you're probably right. You can even do it right from your mobile phone. The free Anchor app has all the tools to record and edit your podcast, and Anchor will do all the distribution to places like Apple Podcasts and Spotify for you. You can even make money right from the start. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's Tarig's mother-in-law to tell you more.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
There you go. Simply download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Just remember to plug in your mic.
The best place to listen to Krusty third Nipple. It's nice.
So hi everyone, we've got a new feature for you, and it is called Dawn in 60 Seconds, like Kieran mentioned. Bart versus Homer, Darth versus Luke, Keither versus Donald, Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon, Indiana Jones versus the King of Scotland, Peter Quill versus Eagle, Robert Downey Jr. versus Martin Scorsese. This will be the greatest battle you'll ever hear in Dawn in 60 Seconds. So what we've got for you is we've got Kieran, the father, versus Darren, his spawn. They will be battling it out to try and sway my opinion on what is better, Marvel or everything else, more or less. This came from a quote where Martin Scorsese kind of threw the gauntlet down to
Threw some
Marvel.
shade, serious shade.
Yeah, some serious shade on the
Just jealous,
Marvel
that's all.
universe. Oh, the digs are flying already. Oh, settle down, boys. So the quote from Martin Scorsese, it was, "I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best that they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to other human beings." Ouch.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of Iron Man. So,
Right in the arc reactor.
what we're going to do is these gentlemen are going to have 1 minute to sway me, and also we'll put a poll up on Twitter and we'll see if you guys want to add your tuppence worth in there and vote on it. So who wants to go first? Will we do Age Before the Beauty or let the Beast go first?
Well, I'd like to think I win the beauty one, but it's up to you, Tarig. You're the host.
I goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll let the young man go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Darren.
Before we start, I'm arguing for the Marvel. I'm repping the superheroes here. Got their back this time.
Excellent. Let's see if the powers are within you.
Have you got the timer ready, Judge?
I've got the timer ready. So you get 1 minute to fire through as much as you like. I'll count you in. Right.
And how are you going to end it?
You'll have to wait and see. I'll end it in whichever way I feel like ending it.
Right, okay.
Get your stuff in before then.
Yeah, exactly. Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Martin Scorsese has said that Marvel movies aren't cinema and they're more like theme parks due to the lack of human emotion being displayed. To say that, I not only think that he is wrong, but has a limited view on what cinema can be. Even before the MCU created, a lot of older folks would scoff at comic books on which the MCU is based on and say that it's for kids and aren't real stories. So is it surprised that another out-of-touch old man would say similar things when those same iconic characters are brought to the big screen? The MCU has made me and millions others care about its very diverse group of characters, some of which are from different worlds entirely, lots with their own movies to show their character arcs, including them gaining abilities and losing loved ones to become the heroes or villains that they are. So to say they don't convey emotion is disingenuous at best. And when he said that nothing's a risk in Marvel movies, is he forgetting that half the life of the universe was at stake due to Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet? To me, Scorsese seems that an old man that's upset that time has passed him and his style of movies past.
Finite! Good work,
timing.
Darren.
Good timing.
Yeah,
So, was that you done?
Yeah.
that was done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, timed that very well. Right, some
some good-
really, really excellent points.
Made
Yeah,
some good
I
points.
like that.
Made some good points.
Excellent. So, Kieran,
Help me in, big man.
we'll count you down. Counting down from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Scorsese's argument was that Marvel movies are not cinema and crowd out the market from the art form he holds dear. But I'm going to go further and say they're boring. For me, once you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all. America good, foreigners largely bad. Few explosions, world saved again. It's hard to have any emotional attachment to two hyped up CGI wisecracks dodging bullets for 2 hours straight. And just because someone is popular doesn't mean it's any good. Does McDonald's have the best burger because they sell the most? Or is the answer just marketing and consumer convenience? Much like billboards at a drive-through, Marvel movies are at best a visual feast, but fail to deliver on any substance. What's more memorable, another skyscraper getting blown up, or seeing a few guys stand on a table and declare, "Oh, Captain, my Captain"? Marvel movies are repetitive and don't challenge the viewer. Just like a Big Mac, you sit there and gorge it, become numb to it, and in the end it leaves you unsatisfied and instantly forgetting what's just taken place.
Finite!
Oof.
So you
Right.
kind of went down
Ouch.
the boat. Oof.
Right in the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grabbed Scorsese and you rode him a wee bit, didn't you?
He'd be proud.
Scorsese's my bitch.
I would say you're sucking up to him.
Yeah, definitely. Oh well, I see your point with
Everything.
some of it is just you can sit back and you can just enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with a Big Mac. There's nothing wrong with a McDonald's. You know what you're getting.
That's the point.
Always
though.
tastes good.
And that's good. There's a place for that. There's a massive place for that. Scorsese isn't really given that chance to that. He's saying that cinema shouldn't have it, by the sounds of things.
What he said is, like, my first line was crowding out the market from what he wants. Like, cinemas don't take a risk now because they know that this is a hit. So, you know, independent films that are a bit edgy, films that will be challenging and a bit different, give you something that you've never seen before, are less likely to be shown in cinemas because they want bums on seats. And they know that it's a fail-safe by getting the Marvel win.
But if the cinema's good enough, if the movie's good enough, then it'll still pull bums on seats.
Yeah.
Dan, you made some excellent points.
I just don't think it's enough to. It seems like he's kind of blaming the MCU because he's not in cinema anymore. He's had to run off to Netflix and ask them to make his movies now. So
So that he can make sure that he's got them bums on seats.
Yeah. You know, with Netflix, it's like guaranteed. It's not that much of a risk. You're already kind of paid for it there. You know, you don't have the box office risk. So I think it's a bit much for him to point the blame behind Netflix of big bad Marvel or Disney.
Oh, definitely. They've got a big target on their back. The multi-billion pound industry that they are.
The target on their back. It never seems to get hit during the film. Just keeps getting.
Scorsese kind of got an empty check with his last film, The Irishman. Pulled out all the stops. Joe Pesci back in and all the big names, and yet it was still pretty flat. It wasn't one of his best. It wasn't shite. It was good, but I would probably say just above average for a Scorsese movie.
Talk about relying on CGI. The Irishman actually was relying a lot on the de-aging effects of half its cast to make them look young.
It's okay when it works for them, but not when it's working against them.
Right. Okay.
And the fact that he said that it's not emotional. I know a good few people who were crying at the end of Avengers.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
Endgame.
I'll ask you a question. Were they all above the age of 7 or below?
Yeah. I personally had a tear in my eye. I was just like,
Or
trying to
even
breathe. I'm like, "Oh,
Or the mental age of
you
7?
see that Marvel,
sorry."
you see that
Spoiler
Marvel
alert.
doesn't. You see Marvel plays it safe, and cinemas play it safe by them. But you got one of the best movies, Guardians of the Galaxy, taking Z-list characters by actors that it wasn't really well known, like Chris Pratt before he became a household name. He was on Parks and Recreation or something like that. If that's what it was.
But
And
literally,
literally, I hadn't heard of that show before. I knew Chris Pratt was in it after all the Guardian stuff. So that's taking a no-name comic title from like 30 years ago and put all the trust on James Gunn, like just the director. It wasn't a corporate machine. And that's actually one of the saddest moments when spoiler, I made that mistake last time. When Groot sacrifices himself and says that we are Groot. So they've made efforts and different types of, even Ant-Man, that's a heist movie, even though it's a superhero one. It's not just always the same, and all the Thor ones, they're different every movie.
Yeah,
So,
and in the next movies that they're going to be doing, they've got thrillers, they've got horror. They're trying their best to push the ball and dominate all other aspects of the theatre, so that there's no horrors. Everyone's going to go and see the Marvel horror. There's no thrillers. Everybody's going to go and see the Marvel thrillers. And
you can see that two ways, yeah.
that's kind of adding into Kieran's point. But
Still a risk, though.
Yeah, let's all be truthful here. There was never any chance that Kieran was ever going to win this with me.
Have you made your ruling?
My ruling was made before we even decided this.
I love how we haven't even had one go at this. This is our first take, and there's bias already.
Oh,
all the costs.
I think next time
at least I gave Kieran the full minute. I was going to just chop him off after 10 seconds.
I think next time we will disqualify you from judging the next time. And maybe be our dad.
So Darren is Darren's the Don. Darren is the reigning Don.
Darren's the Don.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
So
all hail Don Darren. Please lift an innocent gun to Don Darren.
The unofficial sponsor of
Krusty's
from
our unofficial sponsor, Innocent Gun.
So
I'm running out Innocent Gun, so if anyone at Innocent Gun wants to send us a case.
So those at home listening, if you look at Twitter at Krusty's Nipple, and you can vote on the poll to see who actually won. Hopefully, you'd be a little more, or maybe a little less unbiased.
Yeah, because now I'm going to go against people on Twitter who aren't Marvel maniacs either. So that'll be
It'd be interesting to see, because you said the age of 7 or the mental age of 7. We can see what our Twitter fan base. Yeah.
Come at me.
What their mental ages.
Here, Marvel's big in Japan, so
yeah, we're
hopefully we're Japanese contingent wants to bring it.
Yeah. I've just scared them off.
All right. Okay. So that's the end of that segment.
Okay. Next, we'll review Darren's movie choice of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
All right, welcome back. We watched a movie called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a movie about erasing memories. So we're here to tell you what we remember about it. Or did we forget? So it's a movie starring Jim Carrey as Joel, the kind of almost like a bumbling, kind of a clumsy, like, what's that word? The opposite of I forgot. Oh, I messed that all up.
You got a spotless mind.
Yes, I do. Yeah, but it's
You've
quite
forgotten.
into himself and
Introvert.
Introvert.
introverted. Yeah, exactly. And his partner, Clementine, played by Kate Winslet, is quite the opposite. And so you first kind of meet them on this train together, and you see that you just see immediately the personalities. You're thinking, because we know the premise of the movie, how can these people ever fit together in the first place? But as watching the movie, you realize all the dynamics of the relationship and realize that even though they're quite opposite, they're always like meant to be. But also in the movie, you find out what drove them apart. And so you later figure out in the movie that Kate Winslet has had enough and decides to go to this little rundown place in the middle of New York to get her memory erased of Joel. And so when Joel meets her again, there's just no recollection of him whatsoever. So the rest of the movie is him trying to understand what's been going on, and it's got like a non-linear setup, and it's a really good experience to watch.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
Well, before we get too much into it, the film won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. It was out and it was released in the UK in April the 30th, 2004. Kate Winslet was nominated for Best Actress that year, but Hilary Swank won it for $1 Million Baby.
Hilary Swank. Right, fair enough.
Yeah. That's what I saw when I found it out. I was like, yeah, fair enough. The number one song in the UK at the time was "Fuck It, I Don't Want You Back" by Eamon.
Does that go again?
The number one song at the time. Oh, how does it go again?
Aye.
Nah, I'm not singing that.
He's got a couple of bars.
But that could be representative of the movie sometimes and their dysfunctional relationship.
There you go. It's all meant to be.
Yes.
The number one film at the UK box office was Kill Bill Volume 2.
Great film.
And the number one film at the US box office was Man on Fire.
Great film.
Yeah.
It was a good time to be around, was it?
That was 2004. You know, post-Brexit vote, post-Trump. Pre-sorry. Pre-coronavirus.
Pre-pandemic.
You know, didn't know you were living.
It was 16, 20.
20. Oh, good times.
20. Oh, 20. That was we were living together.
We were living in a shithole in the city centre. Was that a shithole? It was fine.
I was 3. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times. You had a nappy on. You were able to go about and shit yourself whenever you wanted.
It's the dream.
That's the dream, Dan.
Let's about me and you then, Tarig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Let's
all
talk
about
about the film.
I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. I'm actually quite disappointed with myself that it's took us this long to actually watch it and appreciate it. It was just, I liked how there was loads of different aspects of it that kind of brought the film along. The way that Kate Winslet's hair changed to kind of give you a wee idea of how bad or where the relationship was within the movie. If it was certain colour, then you know that it was kind of the relationship was coming to an end and stuff like that. It was just, well, that's what I think it was doing anyway. Not sure if that's exactly.
So you took the colours as kind of like a red or an orange was maybe.
Yeah, she was getting quite. Yeah, I was getting so there was hair, there was quite a few different hair changes. So when I seen that it changed twice, it was like, all right, that's going to be something, because movies like this, they tend to have loads of little underlying meanings throughout the whole thing. So
I
it's kind of quite.
Yeah, I found the hair colour just helpful for the kind of the linear aspect, you know, finding out what happened when, sort of thing. But that's interesting because. Is it not blue at the start of the film? So that's the end of chronological order.
Yeah, the relationship. Yeah.
And so that could be a quite serene, like sort of calm.
Or
She's quite
Yeah, or
happy
maybe a
with
sad and depressed, maybe
It
with
could be,
blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
blue. No. And then the orange was when she was fiery and she was actually wanting to fight him and wanting to try and kind of push herself out of the relationship and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Good.
I liked it because it's got quite a lot of kind of. It's a bit like Inception and Memento. If you've
Yeah.
seen those two films,
Definitely
it's
like
just
Memento, yeah.
aye. And Memento is probably one of my all-time favourite films.
It's awesome
Just because
film,
of the way it was written and how it's kind of played out. And this played right into the exact same type of methodology of the way films are made. It's done really well.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this, and it's total like you think it's just a movie. Like you kind of get more into the concept in your head, then you realize when you're watching the film, you get so invested in the relationship, and it really, for me, when I was watching it, it kind of broke my heart when things were going wrong and they were saying things that they didn't mean, but they said it because they were angry, and the relationship was just like there was high points and there was a lot of low points, and it's especially don't want to get too much into it right now, but the little bit at the end where they hear the recordings of their voices back
Yeah.
after they just kind of got back together again, as I was it was just
cringe a
total
bit.
yeah, it was painful, it was depressing, and it was crestfallen. By the end of it, I was just like, no, it's like you imagine someone had recorded the worst thing you ever said to someone, and then makes you play it in front of the person you send it to, and then it's just like, especially someone you love a lot,
Yeah.
and that made me think about things I've said or things I've done. I'm just like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why?
It's interesting you say that. I've thought that about social media, and so this was released in 2004. So this is before Twitter, which is 2006. I've just checked, and you get people who tweet every single thought, good or bad, and I'm thinking,
Yeah,
that's not great because it's there. It's a record of it.
that's a Clementine, yeah.
And what if that could be looked back upon? You could have just been in a bad mood when you said that, and that is exactly. This is before that, but they've nailed that. You've picked somebody their worst moment or their worst time of how they feel for this person, recorded it, and now they're hearing it. That was an amazing scene.
The film a lot deals with the consequences of erasing someone from your memory, and like you see it like in little things like her name's Clementine, so Jim Carrey forgets it was like a story or a poem or something like that has the word Clementine in it. Because he's erased everything to do with Clementine, and like he has a journal that he wrote in for like 2 years, how long he knew her, but then he had to shred it out, and so he writes in his diary like, oh wow, I haven't written this journal for 2 years, just because he has no recollection about it. And there's a bit where he comes face to face with Clementine. She's erased her memory of him, but he hasn't erased his memory of her yet. And she just thinks he's a random guy after they've had so much experiences together. And it's like incredible to think about, like, what would happen if you did erase someone from your memory? What type of person would that make you? Because I think this made me think that what really makes people is memories. Like if you had a good experience, that makes you a lot different from if you had a bad one. And so if you take that away, you change the person.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is one of the main themes of the film. Is I don't think the procedure is important to know like whether it is possible or not. It's kind of like by the by. But the process is noteworthy for me. Because what they do is all items relating to the person that you want erased are kind of like cobbled up together. The technicians then remove these from your memory, and kind of like everything surrounding them is gone. It's primitive. It's like it's not really high tech. But
it's
that's
the
what they do.
emotional concept of things is what makes your memories. So
Yeah.
even if you smell something, that triggers a memory in your head, and that's kind of science, is it? That if you go listen to a tune, it's going to bring you back to 2004 when you were partying in the gaff. or it's going to do something else. And it's great how that's kind of brought into this, where they've got all these different, I can't remember all the objects that they put in front of Jim Carrey when he's sitting trying to get all these memories erased. But it's just each different thing is just taking that emotion, and essentially they're taking that emotion out of him by erasing that memory, and that's changing his personality and then
Absolutely.
potentially his behaviours. And
That's the collateral damage, isn't it? Like it was the Huckleberry Hound song, Darren. And
Huckleberry Hound song, yeah.
He said he loved it. You know, later on or earlier on in his life, he loved that. And obviously that's gone because it mentions Clementine. But as I said to you, Darren, we watched it together. That could be like a crucial childhood memory with him and his mother, say. And that's gone as well. So that whole kind of grounding of a person, that building block of people and their memories, emotions linked to things. If you start cutting that away, the collateral damage is kind of like unlimited.
Yeah, like even if it didn't mention Clementine, if I had a moment with someone and I shared like maybe a birthday or something, like just an old story with them or a funny story, and then that became like a bonding moment for us. If I were to erase that, I would erase that memory as well, because I shared that with her.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you said, the collateral just completely wipes it out.
No, it is done really well. Like
that's why I think at the start of the film, like he, in particular, is quite socially awkward. He's like, well, this is why you don't look at random females in the face. This is, he doesn't really know what to say when she's like jumping and she's all over him on the train. And I just think it's because of these things, because all these things have been taken out.
All taken away. Yeah.
They're brain damaged. They're brain damaged, and there's no doubt that could have been a factor. There's nothing to suggest that he was like that before the procedure.
Well, the doctor says that before it, he said, "Well, yeah, essentially it is brain damage." I liked how the opening credits weren't actually shown until after their first meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like a long intro.
Until it kind of went up, and I was thinking, that's why they did it, because this was the kind of point where they've kind of stopped. That's the end of the film. The credits kind of came up, as opposed to that's the start of the film.
It's definitely more obvious that this wasn't in a kind of usual chronological sort of film.
Yeah.
After seeing that.
Yeah.
Another thing I read was that this is just a little tiny thing, but the credits also appeared and then crumbled away.
Oh, like the memories, yeah.
Like the memories and the hearts and all that.
Yeah. But it's funny you mentioned... Oh, go ahead, Tarig.
Go for it. No, you go, mate.
It's just funny you mentioned the house, because that ended up... Because of like the efforts of like Elijah Wood and Mark Ruffalo and Kirsten Dunst, they end up like triggering old events in both of their heads again, and one of the memories is that house, and so they almost spent a night in the beach house, but Jim ends up running away at the start, but at the start of the relationship, later on in the movie, but later on in the relationship at the beginning of the movie, they're both almost like homing pigeons, like drawn to this beach and drawn to that the beach house, and there's something like, I kind of like it as some kind of subconscious thing that you can't drive out with people, that if people are meant to be, they'll find each other again.
When the house was all crumbling away and they were kind of sitting on the deck, she says, "Come to this place,
Montauk."
Yeah.
Meet me in Montauk.
Meet me in Montauk. And then as soon as he wakes up, he runs there. I was just thinking, not sure if that's some type of...
he's at the train station, and he's about to get his normal train to work, and he hears over the tannoy Montauk.
Train to Montauk.
And then it's just like, it's like a switch in his head.
It's just a trigger.
Yeah. It's like when Elijah Wood's on the ice, and he's trying to replicate all the things Joel's done with Clementine. And I love how it just doesn't work, because it's not the same person. It's not the same circuit. There's loads of variables that are changed,
Uh-huh.
and so she like ends up saying like, oh, he ends up saying she's really nice, and that's like the one thing that Joel says about Clementine, and then that to her just awakens something in her.
That's actually
And
where he fucks up.
but-
That's a trigger, isn't
yeah.
it, for her? Yeah.
Yeah,
But then he's saying you're nice. That's after he's had his memory wiped. So would he have actually said you're nice when he first met her?
Yeah, I
Maybe.
don't. I
Yeah, I
don't
guess
know.
so.
Because
I don't know.
remember the train scene's right at the end of the film.
Yeah,
as
I
opposed
think
to
the example of the
actually
word.
meeting.
I think the example of the word
yeah.
nice
Yeah.
works in the kind of opposite way. But
but
there
I
is
do
a
think that the movie does have a point about repeated behavior even before or after the treatment. Seeing Kirsten Dunst, she ends up falling in love with her boss at the
Again,
company that Minder wiped, and then the boss's wife says, "Oh no, you've done this before, but you've had the procedure." And so, if you get someone under the same circumstances or have a trigger in their head, they'll do the same thing. So there's a big chance that Joel would have had the same behavior and said the same or similar kind of things
Aye.
and called her nice again. He's still the same, kind of the same person because after the wake, the memories in his head, he becomes the same person again.
Mm-hmm. No. It's got a good concept to it, a really good concept to it, and also a lot of the actors in it. You've got
Mhm.
the Riddler, you've got Mary Jane, you've got the Hulk,
Yeah.
you've got Carmen
Frodo.
Falcone, you've got Elijah
Frodo.
Wood from Sin City. Yep, Frodo. So yeah, a lot of good actors.
Didn't I try
Yeah.
and bring this to Marvel because this is
I'm
exactly
just
this is exactly the
chucking it
opposite
out.
film from Marvel. We couldn't sit and talk
Yeah.
for this long
Well,
about a fucking
These
Marvel film.
actors
No.
went from there to there.
To stardom. No, but another kind of standout moment to me is when Kirsten Dunst realizes she's done this before, and just how scary would that be? Because she's not aware she deleted it, and just how scary would that be to find out you've deleted something, but you don't know why
Yeah.
you've deleted it, and you're like, what else have I deleted in the past? Maybe if I can't even trust myself to wipe something from my own memory, what can I trust? Who can I trust? Are any of these people actually who they say they are, or am I who I think I am?
That's funny because the three
Uh-huh.
people who we know have had something wiped.
Hmm.
So is it Joel, Clementine, and Kate Winslet's character?
Kirsten Dunst said this was one of her best performances
Mm.
in this movie.
Is that right? Yeah. Sorry, Kirsten Dunst's
Aye,
character.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Clementine maybe hears about it and goes ahead with it. Joel does it because he knows that she's done it.
To get back at her, yeah.
Yeah, so he's kind of like aware of it. Even during it, he's aware of the procedure.
Mhm.
Do you think that it happened to Kirsten Dunst's character, like with her permission, or?
Oh
Yeah,
no, I
because
think
you heard it in the.
I think she
recording.
was just like such a mess at work, and she couldn't like handle her love for her boss that she just willingly went through. She didn't have any other
Still-
choice.
Yeah. Really young and impressionable. So if the doctor
Yeah.
tells her to go ahead and do it, then yeah, probably.
Oh, it
push
saved his
forward,
marriage, didn't it, for a while?
Mm.
Well,
So-
he himself has got definite kind of like advantages to doing the procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah, still
And
just
Kirsten
like,
Dunst is smoking hot too.
she is.
And this is for Kate Winslet looks really good in this too.
There we go, 2004. Good
Just
thing to
on
be
a wee
alive.
side note there, sorry. What was it?
Not such a good time
Oh,
to
the
be 3 years old. Talking about performances, though, I think Kerry was amazing in that. I think it was better than the Truman Show.
Wow.
I do.
I
think
might
Ooh.
have to go for that as well. I don't know. I love the Truman
don't
Show's
know.
near to my heart, but I
Just
guess
his performance, though, whether it's a better film or
Yeah.
not, it's kind of different. But
Mhm.
you know
Well,
how he can still, for me, he can still in the Truman Show pull in elements of his, theatrical, kind of over the
Yeah.
top.
Overacting.
because he is in like kind of a shocked mode a lot in Truman Show, or crazy and like that. But this one, he's doing a whole like a myriad of emotions. So yeah, I might have to give the edge to this movie, his performance in this movie.
And it's not even,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
until the
he's-
film goes on that the performance at the start of the film, when he's the most damaged, the most
Yeah.
vulnerable, and yet the most kind of, you realise that he's still quite taken with Clementine, and he's
Yeah.
he's kind of like awkwardness, but his smile when he actually takes the phone,
thanks. Yeah,
the phone
Mhm.
call,
phones are.
all that is tremendous, but you don't even you're not even close to realizing how tremendous it is until the end of the film. When you look back on that,
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it again because
Yeah.
I just think it's
Same.
amazing.
No,
So
yeah, I'll give you
that's
that. Yeah, definitely. It's up there with his best performance, and his best performance for me before was Truman Show. So yeah, aye, definitely.
Was
He's
Truman
never.
before
That's
this?
the thing. He's. I would say no. You're the man with.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely was 1998. So good 6 years before that.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well,
He's not. It's a shame the fact that he can actually pull a performance like this out, and also the performances that he does in Truman Show, and yet he's just the mask, liar, like
yeah.
Ace Ventura, and that's what. Don't get us wrong. I love every one of them films.
Or Dumb and Dumber.
There's a massive. Oh,
The
Dumb and
Grinch.
Dumber. Oh man. The Grinch. There's a massive play. There's not one of them films that anybody would say are shite.
There's these
But
films that he
when
does
he
it
does
so.
performances like this,
So I was just going to say that like Ace Ventura, nobody could do that for
No.
him.
oh,
He's
absolutely not.
just like, if you do a remake Ace Ventura, I riot because nobody could do it.
That time has
No.
passed.
Yeah.
Definitely the
Is
twist
there
of that
anybody out
film as
there?
well.
There's nobody out there that would even attempt to do Jim Carrey remakes. Is there?
Aye, it's very crazy.
I think there was a Mask sequel or something like that, or a
Yeah.
Was it not a child or
Yeah.
something?
Was it not about the dog?
The dog, yeah. I named
Something,
my
Sure it
I
was
dog.
don't
about the dog or a child. It might be.
I named my
But
dog after
pointless.
the Mask's dog, Milo. She's lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, again, he did kind of surprise me in how kind of I don't know, he's just kind of he's balanced. He's just so many points in that character's life together, and really paints this whole picture. And it's just it's kind of really cool what they end up doing with this film, and it's kind of high concept, and you think in anyone else's hands, and maybe when you erase people's minds with just like a company or something, you're thinking this company's got billions in the bank, it's everywhere, it's got a big skyscraper, it's all high
Yeah.
tech, and this movie is just kind of a rundown place run by kind of these idiots, really. It's just
Easily distracted, I would say.
yeah.
Just, yeah.
It's definitely got a big concept of Black Mirror. I
Mm.
had a kind of Black Mirror feel to it. That, I mean, the fact that they can erase your mind, your memories and stuff like that, yeah, and how dark it could go,
Yeah.
and how dark they want you to look into this. And so it's a movie that makes you think, and I love movies that make us think. I've just not got a wife that likes to watch movies that make you think.
Yeah.
We also
But-
love Marvel films.
Yeah. They make you think, mate.
But see
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Mirror though. If Black Mirror was to tackle this, and I'm sure it has, it would be the pristine office. It would be the high tech.
Yeah,
and
it's
violent.
done similar because in the episode, spoilers again, White Bear, they wipe that character's memories and then torture her the whole episode, and like they repeat the
Is that the one?
Yeah,
where,
just say spoilers.
is that the one?
Yeah, but not for me.
Is that the one where everybody's holding their phone all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, that is horrific. That one. I think the ending
Excellent.
of that is.
Whoa.
Have you not watched
I've
Black
not seen
Mirror
it.
yet?
I won't say
told you,
what.
I've watched a couple.
I won't say what the ending is, but for me, yeah, the actual episode's quite tame, I would say. But when you realise what's been done to her, oh man, I can't think of anything worse.
No.
Is that the one
But,
with the kid?
Well, there's a
Where the
kid
mother
involved.
controls what the kid sees it?
No. That's a different one.
No. Because
That's
that's kind of got same aspects to this, where there's
She wakes
you're
up in a
crowding somebody.
she wakes up in a chair and then leaves the house, and nobody interacts with her, but everybody's kind of staring at her and recording her with the phone, and
That's
so
it, yeah.
she has to kind of figure out what's going on. Why is everybody just
Right, what's
looking
it
at her like
called?
that?
White Bear.
White Bear.
It's one of the earlier seasons,
That's
definitely.
early, yes. Series 2, episode 2.
Definitely an iconic
Okay.
episode. We could probably just fill an episode of it, favorite Black Mirror episodes, or going over one in detail. But back to Eternal Sunshine, I really like the ending is quite bittersweet because after they get back together again, there's hope. But when Kirsten Dunst kind of kamikazes everyone by sending everyone their tapes back and all their items and stuff. And so right when Winslet and Katie are back together again, she plays a tape of her shouting and screaming at him, and he plays a tape of him just like laying into her and everything. He says he doesn't like about her, but now now he's saying he does like about her, but she's like, well, how long is that going to last before you're saying these same things again? And you think they might be doomed to repeat the relationship over again, and just kind of gets worse and worse because even though they fit well together at times, and they're meant to be, and they went up against this huge obstacle. Eventually, there's going to be cracks, and so they kind of decide to she just walks away from him, and I just felt that was really, really sad because you felt like they did understand each other more than anyone else has understood them ever. And you see that with Patrick's trying to be with Winslet, like in the middle of the movie, and he just doesn't get her. He just kind of looks up to her and just kind of thinks she's amazing.
She's had her mind wiped, man.
No, but I'm saying she's got like issues and stuff like that. But and it's only kind of Jim that can kind of bring her down or even her out. But then even them two together just won't work out eventually. So it's quite bittersweet.
Yeah, I like how you're looking at it. That yeah, it's kind of they're going to end up potentially being together because there's something there that's pulling them, drawing them again.
Yeah,
back to each other. I didn't see it that way. I wasn't sure if they should actually end up back together because she's decided
there's problems. Yeah.
She's decided that no, it's not the way I want to be going. Want out of this relationship. Wipe your memory. Then he wipes his memory. Right. Okay. Let's fresh start it. And yet they might end up in the exact same place before they wipe their memory and want to wipe their memory again.
Yeah.
Because people's behaviours don't necessarily change that much.
What might change though?
He's still going to be boring. She's still going to be eccentric.
Yeah.
So introvert and extrovert, yeah, although sometimes it works, but I mean, in this concept, it wasn't really working. He kind of got her when she was looking for something potentially, and he was looking for something. And the timing was right. Now they're starting again, and they could end up getting caught in a vicious circle of being sad and crap all the way through. So that's what I liked about it. I really liked how it ended, and you don't know if it is going to end. It's not a happy ever after. It's just potentially this could go down one or two routes.
I think they're willing to give it a
Yes,
go again
definitely.
because they realise that the good memories that they've lost out on are worth pursuing, even if they might not end up together. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And then
So,
and then wipe their memories again.
Because they'll
I
get
don't-
those
I-
memories back due
I
to the
don't think they
change
would.
in the
I don't think they would.
ions.
I don't think they would make the same choice again. They might not end up together, but
Mm.
let's have a fucking laugh while we can.
They do realise that they are a big part of each other's lives, and
Yeah.
it's something that they learn that they just can't take away. Even out of anger, and they did things that they regretted, and they wiped each other. But hopefully, at the end, they can realise, even if, as I said, if they don't end up together, but they realise that he's a part of me and she's a part of
Yeah,
him.
there's
and stuff
something there.
like
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
that.
Okay, let's
It was
wrap
a great
up then,
choice,
boys.
Darren. Well played,
well
mate.
done.
Thank you.
Well,
Loads
great
better-
show.
Loads
Absolutely.
better than
Loads
the
better
films
than
that
Borat.
Borat.
Oh, definitely different style. I think. Where did we go for the? What was your first choice, Dad? Again?
No, it was
Uh,
it was Social Dilemma and Joe Rogan.
There's Dilemma.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's just,
And then there's Borat, and there's this. But I like it was 3 different styles, and we won't always just like pick the same kind of movies, or podcasts or videos.
Yeah.
I think we'll do very different.
Hey, we're up for any suggestions for anybody that's listening to us. Get them in on Twitter. Get them in on. Are we on any other social media?
On the Anchor, I think you can leave comments.
on
I believe.
Anchor.
you can
Comment
leave
on
us a
there,
voice message on Anchor. Anchor.fm.
Voice message.
I
That
think
sounded a
you'll
wee
get
bit
a
creepy
lot of-
when you said voice message.
And do you know what? Do you know what? For anybody who's keen, we will play the voice message on the next episode. If you send us a voice message, we'll play it. Within reason.
I think
Editor galore, Kieran. is.
I think Tarig's
Later.
going to get a lot of hate for the biased refereeing here. A lot of Scorsese
Bring on
fans.
the
even-
hatred.
You want to curse them out? We're here for you.
Okay, right. Next week we're going to speak about Get Duked. It's a kind of British film of black comedy. 4 guys have to take the Duke of Edinburgh award. They have to go in the Highlands and navigate their way through the hills and so on. And just I won't go too much in it, but hilarity ensues. And we're going to have a guest on next week. My mate Connor is going to come on because he's watched this film, he's raved about it for ages, he's written about it, and he's interviewed the director. So I think that's
So
Right,
definitely going to ask him about how that interview went and what his thoughts on the movie are.
yeah, definitely. So
And
we'll
I'll
put,
definitely ask him what he's drinking. Hopefully he's drinking a handcrafted innocent gun.
Our sponsors better be as good as this. When we're doing the sponsor spots, we better be doing as much loving care as we do the Innisgun.
the sweet
Spot.
nectar.
I'm just showing all sponsors how sweet a segue we can make into any type of. Kieran, how's your shiny head going?
It's a lot better now. We've had
Any
two-
wigs?
two-
Any wig companies?
My shiny head feels a lot better now. We've had 2 tins of innocent gun, the brewed with naked golden oats, crafted in Scotland. The delicious sweet nectar. Send me a case.
See, Dan,
Yeah.
we've got this in the bag.
Yeah.
The
Thanks everyone
the
for
sponsors are
listening.
flocking.
Okay, it's a goodbye from me. Goodbye from day 2.
Right, see ya.